This Mobile Geeks video is powered by ASUS.
Hey, I'm Roland right here at Computex 2015 with Mobile Geeks, and this is the device that you probably or maybe have heard of as the Pipo X8. And it has a pretty interesting feature, which is this 7-inch screen. It actually is coming from a company called Mazda, and they're from Shenzhen. So if you're an OEM company or you want to sell this OEM device under your own brand in Germany, for example, you can just come over here or contact them directly in Shenzhen and have them build this for you under your brand. What it is basically a free interpretation of Microsoft's Windows 8.1 licensing rules, because everything that has a screen, a touch screen, is considered a tablet, and as soon as this thing has a display size under 9 inches, you will get Windows 8.1 Bing for free or at a a high rebate. This thing is not a tablet because it doesn't have a internal battery, but for Microsoft or Microsoft's licensing rules, it is a tablet. So that's why they're actually building this nettop with a display to actually undermine or undergo or fall under those Windows 8.1 Bing licensing rules, which makes this thing cheaper in retail than what you would pay for a device without a screen. Because all the devices that don't have a screen are charged full for Windows 8.1, which makes them very expensive. That's why the Intel Compute Stick, for example, costs $150, and this is going for $120, or should be available for $120, including a screen. Although the hardware is pretty much the same, and this head has many more ports, and the overall bill of materials is more expensive because this has a touchscreen, which is usually the most expensive part of a computer or a tablet in this case, or a smartphone. So what is this whole thing? It's basically all the stuff that's in a tablet except the battery in this slightly tilted form factor that you can put on your desktop, and it's a full nettop. It's a full PC running on the Intel Atom Z3736F, which is the newer model of the Bay Trail entry CPUs. So that's the one that clocks at up to 2.14 or 2.16 gigahertz and has a base frequency of 1.46 gigahertz. It's a quad-core SoC, x86 compatible, and it's running Windows 8.1 in a fully fledged form. We have 2 USB ports on here. You have 2 gigs of RAM and 16 gigs of flash storage, but this can be changed according to what the ODM or the customer wants. Also, should be noted that looking at the case, it is probably possible to stuff some other storage in there, maybe even a 2.5-inch hard drive. Right now, I don't think there is any of that in there. If you talk to Mazda, they will probably work that out for you. But let's keep going around the device. We have the power button right there. This is your volume rocker. And again, those 2 USB ports plus a 3.5mm headset jack. There's your right speaker, power LED, not to forget about it. And let's move over to the back because you have plenty of connectivity choices on here. We have a Wi-Fi antenna for the N-Wi-Fi module that's in here. Plus you get a micro USB port, micro SD card slot, and 2 more USB ports. There you have a full-size HDMI out and an Ethernet port. So they're even adding an Ethernet port, which makes this definitely a fully fledged Windows desktop PC. There's your power supply. There is no battery in there, as I said. If you unplug this, it will just turn off. On the left, there is another speaker, and that is pretty much it. So the screen is slightly tilted, which is actually pretty comfortable to use if you put it on the table. It has a screen resolution of 1280 by 800, as you can see here, and it is not a TN panel, but an IPS screen, so the viewing angles are definitely pretty nice. Brightness seems to be okay too, and the resolution is again 1280 by 800 on this 7-inch device. So this has just been a very quick look at the Mazda unnamed Windows 8 TV box, at least that's what they're calling it. You can connect this to your TV or just use it as a desktop, use the small screen as a secondary display, and have the HDMI port connected to your TV or your desktop monitor, and use an external mouse and keyboard to use this device. So I was Roland with Mobile Geeks, checking out this pretty interesting device, also sold as Pipo X8 outside of Europe at Mazda at Computex 2015. See ya!
This Mobile Geeks video is powered by ASUS.